Here's a look at the new Vintage Collection Gaming Greats ARC Trooper from Battlefront II. So here it is on the card back, the newest addition to the Vintage Collection Gaming Greats line. Now this is a line that mostly just uses repaints of older sculpts. That's kind of the conceit of this line. And this sculpt is taken from that 501st Legion ARC Trooper pack. It included Jesse, Fives, and Echo, and that was an amazing set with 3 really awesome figures. And even though we're seeing a reuse of that mold here, I am perfectly happy with it. Like the repack wave of Jedi figures that we saw earlier in the year, the wave that had Obi-Wan, Mace Windu, Ahsoka, and Anakin. This card back is on that new, thicker cardstock, and I'm very pleased to see that. From what I understand, these things are not yet hitting stores in the US. We are unsure as to whether or not they're actually going to show up in store, which means if you want a definite chance at getting one, you probably have to order it online. Luckily, with this thicker cardstock, it is way less likely for your card to get damaged in shipping. Taking a look at the back of the card, we can see that this thing is VC 235 in the line, and it gives us a look at some of the other Gaming Greats figures that are being released alongside this one. Looking back at the front of the card, I just want to call out how amazing I think the art on this figure and on the other ARC Trooper figures is. It's pulled straight from the Battlefront II game, which has some really incredible level design, and we see that really nicely on display here. I also really like how the Clone Trooper looks in the bubble on this. It's always really cool to see a bunch of accessories packed in with a figure, and I also like when they pack the helmet separately on characters that have a removable helmet. That way you can see the face sculpt and the helmet. But enough talking about this card back, let's get to opening it so that we can actually get a look at the figure in hand. Okay, so here it is out of the package, and it looks amazing. I guess that's no surprise. We were all very blown away by the 501st Legion ARC Troopers that are, again, based off of the same mold. But even though we're not getting a new mold, I'm still very pleased with the figure. The new paint job that they gave to it looks pretty striking. It isn't anything too vibrant, but it is unique, and if you've played Battlefront 2 before, you'll definitely recognize this look. If we look underneath the helmet, we'll find another great use of the new clone head sculpt. I talked before on my review of the 501st Trooper how much I love this head sculpt compared to the older one that we've seen on things like the VC-45 Phase 1 Trooper. But it seems like from now on we're just going to be getting this new sculpt, which is great. Putting the helmet back on, I would just like to compliment the posable rangefinder. I know that seems like it should be a given these days on figures that come out, but every now and then we do still get a figure whose rangefinder cannot be posed. I'm thinking of that new Return of the Jedi Boba Fett that we all love so much, but has that locked off rangefinder holding it down. The figure comes with a few different types of blasters. The smaller pistols can fit in the holsters on the side, and the main blaster can fit right into the backpack on the back of the figure. There's a small peg on the side of the weapon that allows it to slide in and out. All of the weapons with this figure come in a gunmetal gray color, which I like to see. I think it looks a little bit better than that straight up black that they sometimes use. Ideally, I wish that we got weapons that had a little bit more of a paint job to them with some weathering or different colors, but if we're gonna get them all one color, I'm happy to see this gray. Taking a look at the sculpt of the figure as a whole, everything here looks great. The amount of detail in this sculpt is still amazing to see to this day, even though it's not brand new anymore. I especially love the pauldron piece that they have on this thing. The backpack is molded to it, so it's all one accessory, and it looks really nice when it's on the figure. This figure also has some really good articulation. Rocker ankles make it really easy to stand up without a stand in a variety of poses. The arms can be posed in a lot of different ways, although they are slightly restricted by that shoulder pauldron accessory. The accessory is loose, so you can move it around a little if you have to get the arms up or to the side. Now, if there's one thing that really holds back the posability on these guys, it's the fact that the Kama is not soft goods. It is a harder, rubbery, molded material, and it really restricts how much you can pose these legs. Nonetheless, there are a lot of different, really cool ways that you can pose this figure, and I think a lot of thanks for that goes to the accessories and weapons that it comes with. They really make it a figure that you're tempted to sit down and play with. Now, even though we've gotten quite a few figures now that use this new ARC Trooper sculpt, I'm very happy to have so many of them, and I don't know if I'm ever going to get tired of seeing more of them get released. For another look at this figure, other figures, vehicles, and playsets from across the Star Wars lines, be sure to check out the Jedi Collector on Instagram. Link will be in the description.